Fitin10 Nation, it is day 37, and I sent your macros today. For most of you, they did not change. There's a couple of you that are on a slightly different schedule, so you may have received some changes. Well, you did receive some changes. Cardio doesn't always change, so if you notice that there's not any change, it's okay. That's the way it is. Cardio does normally, I don't want to say does normally, but it changes more frequently than your diet will throughout this challenge. And we are into week 6 now. We are into week 6, which is crazy, and into March at the same time, which is even weirder. Make sure you send me your feedback. Okay, so in your email, right, there's a little hyperlink there that says here, so it'll say like send me your feedback here. That here, the word here is hyperlinked. It's right, it's blue with a little line underneath it. Click on it. Send me your feedback ASAP. Okay. All right, let's get into some feedback here. Some of your feedback. This person says, I need to do better with my macros. I can normally keep the calories below the prescribed amount, but getting all the protein in is hard. Yes, getting your protein is hard, and I've said to you every meal, make sure you get protein. This will help you to get all your protein in. It will keep you more satiated. You will not feel like eating as much. Get all of your protein in. This is the biggest, this is, diet-wise, this is the macro that's going to help you the most with fat loss. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Protein in your diet is going to be the macro that helps you lose fat the most. So make sure you get it in. If you want to lose fat, get your protein in. Your calories are below the prescribed amount. Okay, I guess because you're not getting your protein, your calories are below prescribed amount. But listen, don't worry about your calories. I know you're mentioning this to me, but don't worry about your calories. Worry about your macros. If you get all your macros, you get your calories. Okay, I've said this so many times, but if you get all your macros, you get your calories. Worry about your macros. Your macros are more specific to what I want you to do. If this was just about calories, I would say, listen, get your calories and it doesn't matter what you eat. Okay, you can just eat all carbs or all fat or whatever. Okay, but obviously it matters. So focus on the macros. If you get your macros, you'll get your calories. I only give you your calories because people throughout the previous challenges, because I used to not send out calories, and people say, well, can you just tell me what my calories are? I just want to know what my calories are. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll just start including them in the email. But it's really not that important, okay? It's not what I want you to focus on. I want you to focus on the amount of macros I want you to focus on the amount of each of the macros that you're supposed to get, okay? That's what you need to focus on. Just focus on that. All right, fiber should be counted as a carbohydrate. I guess we got to talk about this. Okay, well, so there's basically two types of fiber. There's soluble and there's insoluble. And I'm gonna try to make this as simple and as quick as possible. So, insoluble just basically goes right through you. Okay, so it really doesn't count. Soluble fiber, on the other hand, basically goes to your large intestine, and the bacteria in your large intestine converts it into fatty acids, and basically those fatty acids get consumed by the bacteria. Okay, so, and that may not be entirely accurate. I'd have to go back and take a look at it, but that is the gist of it. Okay, that the soluble fiber in the large intestine gets converted to fatty acids, and then it gets used up by the bacteria. But there are different types of soluble fibers, and this is a problem because some is more readily converted to fatty acids than others, and it's not the same thing. So you got to be really, really careful with this if you're going to try to figure out how you're going to not include it as fiber, or as included as carbohydrates. Okay, so you want to make sure that for the sake of ease in this, I would just say count your fiber as calories, because some of the fiber will be counted as calories. It's going to count. But the old rule I used to use with people is just assume that you can go through and figure out, or maybe MyFitnessPal will tell you this: what's soluble, what's insoluble. But I don't know if that's going to be entirely accurate either, because a lot of foods are not. They don't account for that. They just account for their fiber in total. But what you could do is you could basically, if you got like 20 grams of carbohydrates worth of fiber, you could basically cut that in half and assign the calories, or assign. Let me just say this again. Take all your calories, take all your carbohydrate. I guess it's getting late here and I'm getting tired. Should have done this video earlier. You take all your carbohydrates that are considered as fiber, okay? Let's say it's 20 grams. Times it by 0.25. Just a quarter of that. And that's how much will go towards actual calories of carbohydrates. It's a rough bet. How do I get to that? Generally speaking, soluble fiber, when we look at soluble fiber, it works out to be, generally speaking, about 2 calories per gram. That's just what it works out to be. Okay? When we look at insoluble fiber, it's 0. It goes right through you. So if we get 20 grams of fiber and we assume that half of it is, this is why I don't want to go here, right? We assume that half of it is soluble and the other half of it is insoluble. Then we take that soluble fiber and we cut the calories in half, right? We're basically taking half of half, right? Which is a quarter, which is why I said to times it by a quarter. Okay, that's why I said take the 20 grams and times it by a quarter. But that's really just an estimate, okay? So, and listen, there are other foods that you eat that just, the food not all food gets digested. So do you think that counts? No. So my point here is let's just keep things simple and just count everything. That's what I'm going to tell you to do. Just count everything. All right. That's the way we've been going up to now, and let's just keep going that way. But if you want to know the nitty-gritty, that is the nitty-gritty. Okay? That is one way of doing it. But again, it's not really precise. Okay? Additional comments here. I hope that's clear. Maybe I should talk about that. Maybe I'll revisit it tomorrow or something. I have a serious hankering for honey donut, which is quite funny because it is not something that I normally eat. Honey donut. Honey donuts are actually, I'm not a donut person, but a honey donut is really good. Like one of those glazed donuts. Really, really good. Okay. I agree with you. I could use one of those. For sure. Okay, we're at 8 minutes. Let's get the message of the day. I don't want to make this a 15-minute video. What did I say? What day did I say we're 37, right? Okay, this isn't a bad one. Short and sweet. To the point. Don't call it a dream, call it a plan. Right? Don't call it a dream, don't call it a dream, call it a plan. Just like, we can't do this, right? I hope I lose weight. I hope I lose body fat. I hope it happens. No, just make it happen. Just set the numbers, follow the numbers, and make it happen. That's it. Okay? So just, this is dreaming, right? Following numbers, setting out your numbers is planning. Just plan it out, make sure you do it. You know what you have to do for your exercise? Plan it out, just make sure you do it. It's just execution. That's all it is. I'm not saying it's easy. Didn't say it was easy. You never heard me say it was easy. But that's there for you. Just follow it. Okay? I'll say it one more time. Don't call it a dream. It is not this, right? It's just planning, right? So call it a plan, and then you'll make it happen, okay? It can happen for each and every one of you, right? Yes, it can. Okay, positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself. For the love of God, give some gratitude, and I will talk to you all very soon. Day 37 wrap up. Tomorrow, we got some lower body work to do. Hopefully, I will see you. It's Monday, so I teach all the classes. So unless you're not showing up tomorrow, I guess I won't see you, but hopefully I will. Okay, have a wonderful evening. We'll talk to you all soon. See you guys.